Hey, what's going on guys? So today, we're checking out the official images for the PlayArts Kai Final Fantasy VII Remake Reno. This is such an awesome figure. I'm just so happy that PlayArts Kai finally made this figure. This was my most wanted Final Fantasy VII figure, so yeah, I'm just so happy, and it looks absolutely fantastic. So thank you guys so much for taking the time to check out this video. If you guys want to stay up to date with the latest PlayArts Kai Final Fantasy VII news and updates, then be sure to subscribe to the channel. Hope you guys are doing okay and are keeping safe today, and yeah, take care guys. So we have the whole lineup of all the characters in this series. So we have Sephiroth, Reno, and Rude. And of course we have Cloud Strife, Aerith, Barret, and Tifa, which have been announced for some time now, so I'm sure you guys have probably seen these figures. But yeah, they all look absolutely amazing, and yeah, I can't wait for them. And so my question for this video is, who's your favorite member of Avalanche? Let me know in the comments below. So yeah, let's take a look at Reno. Man, I'm just so happy they made this figure. This is probably one of my favorite Final Fantasy VII figures that I've seen in such a long time. I just absolutely love Reno, so I'm really excited for this figure. And so as for the release dates of Reno, it's going to be in December 2020, which is a very long time away. I'm not sure how reliable these dates are. I mean, PlayArts Kai seem to have the tendency to change the dates on their figures, so I wouldn't really rely on this date. They're probably going to change it again at some point. And I think the price for the figure is pretty good. I mean, I would pay any price for Reno. As I mentioned, he's like my #1 most wanted PlayArts Kai Final Fantasy VII figure. So yeah, I'm 100% gonna pick up this figure. And let me know if you guys are gonna pick this figure up as well. I've just gotta say, this is such a nice looking piece. I mean, it's a very simple design for a character. There's really not much going on here in terms of design. I think the head sculpt is the main focus points on this character since it stands out so much. The rest of the body is pretty plain. I mean, he's basically just wearing a black suit. But with that being said, I still love the design of this character. I really don't know what it is about Reno, but I've just always loved this character. So yeah, I've really got no problems with the design. It's one of my favorites. So there is a pretty big difference compared to the original PlayArts Reno. This was the very first Reno figure ever made, and as you can see, there's a massive difference compared to the remake of Reno. I actually still have this original PlayArts Reno. This is the very last PlayArts figure that I own in my entire collection, and even with the new remake of the figure, I don't think I'm gonna sell my original Reno. I just still love the figure so much, so yeah, I'm probably gonna keep both of these figures, and I'll probably make a comparison video. But yeah, it just looks like such a nice piece guys. I just couldn't be happier with how this figure turned out. And I've got to say, the head sculpt is amazing. I mean, just look at that head sculpt. It's such a crisp and clean sculpt. I just love what they've done here. And next up we have another image of the figure from the front. And I mean, the details are very subtle on this figure. There's really not much texturing on the clothing. It looks to be a very smooth sculpt, and it almost gives off a matte finish, which I think is pretty cool. So yeah, they've really kept the sculpting to a minimum, which once again, I've got no problems with. I just think the figure looks great overall. So yeah, I've really got nothing to complain about on this figure. And so next up here, we have a back view of the figure. And I mean, look at the head sculpt from the side. We have a nice profile of the face. Just look at the sculpting in the hairpiece, how finely sculpted and intricate the details are. And of course he's got the ponytail at the back. He's got his signature baton, which is pretty iconic to the character. And so next up, we have the figure in a pretty dynamic pose. I like the fact that the figure has a nice range of articulation. I mean, the Rufus Shinra figure was also wearing a suit and his articulation wasn't that great, so the articulation does look a lot better on this new remake Reno. And next up we have another image of the figure in an action pose. Once again, the figure seems to have a nice range of articulation, and so I assume this jacket piece is probably going to be made out of a soft piece of plastic, which is definitely going to be a nice touch. And so next up here we have a super awesome accessory. So as you can see, the figure comes with a brand new head sculpt. This is such an incredible head sculpt. This is probably one of my favorite head sculpts. Out of all the PlayArts Kai Final Fantasy VII figures, it's just such a perfect head sculpt for Reno. I don't think this head sculpt would work for any other character apart from Reno. So yeah, like I said, it's just absolutely perfect for Reno. It's just got so much personality and it looks great. So I'm not sure if the figure is going to come with an actual head sculpt or like a faceplate. I really don't know which one it's going to be, but I'm really hoping that it's going to be like a separate head sculpt. I think that would be great. And so next up here, we have a look at the accessories that come with the figure. And once again, it looks like we have another head sculpt for Reno, which is just amazing. So as we've seen before, we have the head sculpt of Reno with his tongue out. And here we have this head sculpt, which is a lot more aggressive. He looks very angry, which is a really nice contrast between the two head sculpts. And of course we have a couple pairs of hands, and we have his baton. So yeah, it looks like Players Kai have included a nice variety of accessories, and I don't think any of the other Final Fantasy VII figures come with as much head sculpts as Reno. And last up here we have an overview on everything that will come with the figure. So once again we have the head sculpts, we have the hands, the baton, and we have this newly developed Players Kai stand. It sort of looks like a larger brain art stand, which I think is what they were going for. But anyhow guys, let me know in the comments below what you guys think of this figure and if you're going to pick it up. And next up, we're going to check out the Sephiroth and Rude figures in the next video. And of course we have the Cloud Strife, Aerith, Barret and Tifa, which I've already made a video on, just in case you missed it. So yes guys, thank you so much for watching, and be sure to subscribe to the channel for more Players Kai Final Fantasy VII news and updates. Take care, stay safe, and I will catch you guys on the next video. Alright, take it easy guys.
Kept you waiting, huh?